To my channel today. I've got to be a little pretentious and hold my microphone. The little clip broke off of it, and so I can't pin it. So I'm sorry about that. But and my hair's wet and all the things. So today is a cooking video. I've got a great spelt flake bar that comes together rather quickly, and it's a no cook. So if you're having hot days like we are right now at the time of filming this, it's a really hot week in Michigan, and I think probably a lot of the chunk of the Midwest and over to the East. Just with this really strict diet that we have for my daughter, she's got, and really myself, because I have a lot of health issues, but we have this anti-inflammatory diet. So not only, of course, I've been freshly milling my grains for a couple of years now, and exclusively now that we have these strict guidelines. And then with sugars, it can only be like sucranon or coconut sugar, and everything has to be grass fed, and all the things that you can imagine. And pretty much I make everything from scratch. So probably be some cooking videos more frequently coming down the pike here. Life's had to slow down just a bit, and that could be a good thing. It's the Lord's way of slowing me down. Also, there's this ongoing issue with YouTube about it's really throttled a lot of things, and maybe that's something I'm doing on my end. I'm not sure. I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and in the art world, I've sort of gone through a lot of changes through the years, just as I'm learning and exploring art supplies and things, as people do. And you discover things that you enjoy and sort of park on that for a while and then go. So maybe I'm not the ideal, channel for, in terms of like YouTube algorithm perfection, because it's like, oh, what's this woman doing? All these different things. But anyway, so I'm trying to sort of think on that and think, should I make a separate channel for the cooking stuff, put my art over into another channel? I don't know. Do you guys have ideas? You can leave that down below. Probably some of you are here for one thing or the other. So anyway, still thinking through that. But today's, we're about ready to jump in here. I've got an overhead shot of its quick recipe, but lots of great ingredients that are accessible. And maybe sometime, if you guys are interested, if you want me to talk about what's in my pantry, if you're also interested in anti-inflammatory diet, if you're struggling with health issues or just want to know some better products, I think our food industry is just really making people sick. And even for someone like us, who's, my husband's an ICU nurse, and for really since the beginning of our marriage, I had a lot of, I had stage 4 endometriosis. And so I've had a lot of health issues that have required me to sort of make a lot of changes from your, American diet. I still struggle with weight issues. Old sins cast long shadows. It's not from overeating, but, it sticks with you and it's hard to move. And there's structural problems from horse showing and all of that. But my daughter's issue, we really have had to really dive in, when it's your kids, you really want to make sure that that they're getting what they need nutritionally to support the treatments that they're receiving. As we learn things, as we grow as parents, we change over. It's not like we do everything overnight, but we've changed really, especially in the last couple of years. We really made significant and permanent changes in the things that we buy and things that we will not consume. Things were making our kids sick and throwing up, and things like that. So anyways, one of those things is oats. Now, I'm not saying oats are bad. Just there are a couple of us in the family who can't have oats. So as we dive in, there's a reason you can make these bars with oats if you're fine with oats. We use spelt flakes because it's an ancient grain and it's something that we can have and digest well. So anyways, let's get down to the video. And if you have comments or ideas, go ahead and leave those down below. All right, let's get going. Okay, diving in here, I have got 1.5 cups of spelt flakes. This is one of the brands I use. I also have a flaker in case I run out of those, but I'm still working on my spelt flakes from before I got my flaker, because I grind spelt and use it for other baked goods. So also have some sprouted pumpkin seeds that are raw sprouted And what else have I got there? So you could put like a half a cup of seeds in, and then I've got 1 cup of chopped cashews that are raw. And then I've got some dried fruit from Azure Standard, make some lovely dried cherries without any added anything. No sugar, no preservatives. It's just dried cherries. And so I do dehydrate my own stuff, but I keep a backup bag, and that's what I dove into because I was out of dried fruit. You could put dried apple bits in here, chopped up. You could put dried blueberries, all sorts of things, dried golden raisins or regular raisins. So I will leave the recipe down in the description below, so no need to muddle through my weird long talking here, but I'm using about a 1/4 cup of these chocolate chips from Thrive Market. They are sweetened with coconut sugar. I'm using some Redmond real salt to taste and plopping that in there, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of ground organic cinnamon. And so this is just a good base. You could change this up in many different ways or subtract things. It's just, these are all the dry ingredients. And now we're going to switch to the wet ingredients. So I have got a 3/4 of a cup about of natural peanut butter. So it's just peanut butter. Of course, you could make your own. You could use almond or cashew butter. That would be fine too, or any other nut butter or peanut butter substitute that you like. And this helps bind as well as give some protein in there, additional protein. And then we're going to put 1/2 cup of honey. This particular honey I have today is from Healthy Traditions. It's very tasty. I also love Azure Standard honey, but my bottle's not yet open. It's down in the basement. So I was on this one, so this is what I put in. And then 2 tablespoons I have of avocado oil. You could use olive oil. That would be fine. I was using, normally I cook almost everything with butter or extra virgin olive oil, but I do keep 1 bottle, this particular avocado oil, because it gives more of a neutral flavor. So I really like this one. It's meant for salad dressings and things, and this is what I would make mayo with as well. So let's see if I got everything. I'm sorry, guys. I had bronchitis. My voice is very rickety. And some vanilla. I don't know if I said that. But so again, I will leave the recipe down below. Super, super easy. I'm just putting it into a parchment lined 9-inch square tray. And then I'm going to refrigerate that once I sort of squish it down. And then after it's refrigerated, you just cut it into bars. And then you can wrap them in parchment or cellophane, whatever you prefer, and then put them in the freezer. And then my daughter will grab one of these out for breakfast, or you could, of course, take them on the go, or great for traveling, vacation snacks, all that sort of thing. But they are super, super tasty, and they're just filled with just good, clean ingredients. Again, if you already have spelt berries, you can just flake those yourself. If you have that ability, that would be fine. Or again, use oats or flaked whatever grain. Lots of options here. Check out the links, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.